Welcome, everyone, to another edition of In the Divide, where we're bringing all things together in crypto together with Algorand. Hopefully, you're doing having a great day. Hopefully, all the things that you've invested in are maturing and blowing up. But I want to thank you for coming in, participating. People. I love Fridays. Not that I get a break, a time off, but I love Fridays because it's a transition day for most people. So, what are we doing today? In the Divide is trying to give some insight today about a couple of things that are coming into the future of blockchain. I like to talk about crypto in general. I like to talk about how crypto investing in the space is a lot of times underwhelming and undervaluing certain assets. And I still think Algorand is still very, very undervalued for what it is, and why the market doesn't value it, because it values other factors that other blockchains that came before it dictated how value is arranged. That's why the people, the Bitcoin maximalists and the Ethereum epochs, they love this system, because this system is dictated based on all the metrics of coin total value and the number of developers, and all these things are dictated to where it favors them. Doesn't really go on technology, use cases, and all these things that are, I think, markedly more relevant to the worth of your blockchain, how secure you are, how fast you are, how efficient you are, how resilient you are. Building use cases and being in a position with the things that you have crossing over and having real world use. See, games are a good metric of having real world use. Even though gaming gets you into it, gaming is more of a fad. You have games that bring people in, but gaming will only last maybe 6 months. If you have a really popular global or communal game, you can get something that really lasts for a couple of years. But game is just like tech. Everybody's on to the next hot thing. But you can build niche communities that allow you to have a core people that, that resides on your blockchain. That's why gaming is a good way to, and a good metric to either get people attracted to or understand. That's why NFTs are really big, and people are focusing on NFT, even though NFTs technically are basically speculations. There's something that people want because it's cute, but there is no inherent value. There is no inherent use case unless something is developed to make it tangible, that if it has value beyond, somebody else may buy this for more money than I bought it for. So I want you to understand what I'm doing here today. I want you to understand why Algorand is a solid foundation token that, even at its current price, is still undervalued and overlooked, because people look for, why haven't it pumped yet? Why does it need to pump if it's going to outlast and outlive every other currency? Because every other currency may have to rely on Algorand, because Algorand is building the future. It's not building the present. What am I saying with that? Algorand is building the future while everyone else is trying to pump the present. Algorand is building the base layer of a technology that in the infrastructure that is going to be built upon from everyone else. Everyone wants to pump, but guess what? What Algorand is doing is putting a need based in government, banking system, because one of the things that you have to understand why people don't invest in Algorand is because they're not the first. All these other names get because all other blockchains are good, are competent. They have deficiencies, but they can get done what people can need to get done now because people don't need high transaction speeds at this moment because there's not enough people total in the in the ecosystem to really push a limit like somebody's pushing like MasterCard and Visa and all that other things. You know, ETH, they can't be their layer one can't be a solution. They have to use a Polkadot or some other layer two that may help them, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not a transaction layer. They have to use the lightning network. This is why I'm telling you with Algorand, this is something you need to pay attention to. This is something you need to focus on. When you look at all the stuff that's going on in the market, the bear market, all the people who's trying to scare you, crypto things going to go to zero. No, it's not. The governments are putting money into this. Corporations are putting money into this. Institutions are putting money into this. But what they're doing is they're doing things with money, what they are seeding into it. And let me see if that works. Once you understand if this thing works, you can now put more money into it, because what happens is you're not going to put something into it and you end up like Solana, or you ended up like Axie Infinity, and everybody's breaking in and stealing your money. There's no security, there's no regulations, and there is uncertainty, and nobody's going to put their $1 trillion, their $1 billion into this thing, and it's going to be ripe for wolves to come in and steal and poach your money. So this right here, the layer that we're in right now, is basically the investment layer. It's the testing period. All this crypto market is right now is a testing period. That's why Bitcoin is the #1 layer. It's the #1 proven because it was the first. And because it was the first, it has consistently done what it was made to do with no deviation. People say Bitcoin is it. Satoshi did it. But this is why I'm here. State proofs is the next level of what Algorand is showing, that they are the layer that actually is going to get it done and actually going to add in the interoperability that the blockchain needs. The blockchain needs interoperability because it needs to let you know that there is a way to operate securely between one network and another. And all these hacks and all these exploitation of the blockchain, when it comes to interoperability, when it comes from blockchain to blockchain, somebody has to prove it works. And I think the Algorand blockchain has did that with the state proofs that's going to be coming out in September. And it's going to be able to lock us in with Ethereum. And it's coming at the perfect time because Ethereum's supposed to be ready for layer 2.0. It's supposed to be merging somewhere around September 19th. If that's really going to happen, I don't know. But what happens when Algorand goes state proof, builds that London Bridge on a ETH that is now staking, is now a proof of stake network. Now you get to be able to go on to that because you're going to go on ETH. No, you're going to backdoor ETH and go in through Algorand, because Algorand is going to still provide you the same things ETH will, but it's going to be faster and it's going to be cheaper. And what's going to happen to all those layer twos? Because that's what people are using the Polkadots and the Matics, because it's cheaper to work through and go into Ethereum through those other chains. Nobody goes through Ethereum just because of Ethereum. State Proof is going to be the next wave of Algorand showing that it's the big boy on campus. And once we start going into Ethereum and start tapping into those networks and those TVLs, our market cap is going to bubble. Not only are all the things are working into Algorand's favor, I'm telling you, with the FIFA and all the other things that they are onboarding in the next 2 to 5 years, you're going to look at your date on the calendar now, which is 8/12/2022, and says, why did I ever doubt? Why did I ever doubt? Because there's no reason to doubt at this time. Not financial advice, just a reasonable prognostication. I'm just telling you, if I had $5 and I can give you today, and I said, if you just kept your Algorand, I give you $5 to keep your Algorand, and you'll give me $100 when the 5 years is over, because Algorand is going to have proved that not only is it staying around, that it's another top 10 coin. I would give you that $5. I would make that bet. But not only that, Algorand. Hopefully, people are getting into this, and Algorand is moving into the governance period of its fourth, the voting period of governance. Hopefully, you are participating. Let me share my screen here. So this here is going to be the voting for the voting questions this time, and it's going to be the one proposal will designate 7 million algos of the governance reward, which is about 10% to DeFi governors committing algos for a governance term. The other 90 will be distributed to all governors as we do now. This will add a limited bonus as incentives to DeFi participations in governance on top of existing reward programs. I heard a lot of times something like this came up before. Why is Algorand is doing this? Why is Algorand doing this? Well, you know, some people are in Algorand, and this is no knock to anyone. Everyone's in for a different purpose, but people are in for the safe term, because a lot of times the fear of losing your money, the fact that there's been rug pulls and people have been cheated, and you know how much time it takes to research a project, to trust. A lot of people don't have that type of time. So a lot of people just come on to Algorand and just put their money in governance and just sit there. And what Algorand is trying to do is like, okay, we got all these people who's trusting and are on board, but they're just putting millions of dollars into our governance period because it's a secure way to bump up their algo, to get their percentage. Where what we're doing is we want people to incentivize to actually work into our ecosystem and take advantage and work into the DeFi space. So our DeFi projects actually will have work and can actually build and grow, instead of you trying to grow your bag only through the algo process. We have a whole ecosystem that needs your activity. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to incentivize the algo governors, the people who just want to put their bag there. Also, they're trying to say, look, try out the DeFi space. Try out these different communities. Put your money here. So these projects that Algorand has funded, Algorand has endorsed, and not endorsed, but Algorand would like you to see if these DeFi products are worth it, because you have to try these projects to see which one offers the best, which one can innovate the best, so you can actually have the best blockchain. Because if you have something that's and no one's ever testing it, and people come and they see that the only thing you got is because nobody's accessing and utilizing DeFi, where the thing about the free market is supposed to test out products, and the best one wins, because the best one does what the customer wants, or what the customer needs, or satisfy the customer's ideas and what the customer came on for. So they're trying to incentivize the stuff that goes on to the governance period to actually start operating in other parts of the system, and not just being left just to sit there. And I agree with that premise, that to give people, at least to give people an opportunity to move the stuff that they're using into the governance, to actually try to help bolster and work with some of these projects that are some are very good. Some of the things, the new ones I like, Cometa is a very good new DeFi platform that comes to Algorand. But we need all the people who are in governance, because there's so many things that's coming out. Everyone can't test everything. We need people in Humble. We need people to test folks finance. We need people to test glitter. We need people to test PackFi and Guard. We need people to sit on AlgoFi. We need people to test Tiny Man. We need people to be on all these different platforms, so we can see which one can perform, which one can outperform, which one can transform, and actually start building Algo into the next layer. See, that's where we fall behind, because all the people in the other DeFi system, they're using DeFi. They're utilizing their DeFi into their systems, and they're growing and creating the Humble swaps and the Uniswaps and the Pancake swap that people are utilizing, because it's working, because they have the ability to tailor, improve the ecosystem and the projects. And we need to have that same mindset as being on Algorand. I don't want to have this go too long. So the second measure is to allow liquidity providers to contribute algos indexes to participate in governance for the fourth quarter. And pretty much this is also another way to try to loosen up some of the things where you're in a liquidity pool of Algo, let's say Algo and another ASA, Opulus or DeFi, and you are in a pool. And this is another way to try to loosen up some of those monies on pools, so you can still operate and go from that pool to contribute and free up some more capital to be flowing inside the Algorand ecosystem. So those are some of the things. I hope you take a look at that. Hopefully you go ahead and vote. I'm pretty bullish on the number one, but people, please look over these things to kind of take it into a wider view. I know people get really passionate about this, that this is, I don't like this. And people have tantrums and stuff like this. This is the ecosystem starting to build. We want to build. Some people, you complain about the foundation, the foundation has this and that, but still a very small early blockchain. We're very much in an infancy. This has barely been 3 years. So a lot of things are going to be still growing, a lot of kinks and things of how this thing is going to be moved. It's going to be based on us participating in the blockchain. So as it builds out, it can continue to be decentralized. It can continue to add things that the community wants. And pretty much the more the community grows, the more the foundation can be put into the background. And that's this episode. So hopefully you add a comment below. What do you think of governance? Are you voting? Are you looking to free up and test some of these blockchains? Give me a shout down in the comment section below. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. The algorithm needs to know where I'm at. So hopefully with this, you'll know, hoping that your tomorrows be better than your today. And I'm out.